La Belle Dame Sans Mercy by John Keats is what we'll be listening to in today's session. This session is divided into three parts. On the first part, I'll be giving an introduction about the author and also about the poetry. And on the second part, we will be discussing about the first six stanzas of the poetry, and on the last part, the final six stanzas of the poetry. So let us just head back and listen to more about the author. John Keats was one among the four children of Thomas and Frances Jennings, who was born on 31st October 1975. He is one such poet who had an unfortunate life because he was able to live only for 25 years. He was met with death due to tuberculosis, and even though he lived for about 25 years, he was able to write around 54 poems. And he was also an English poet who belongs to the second generation of Romantic poets, along with Lord Byron and also Percy Bysshe Shelley. I have already mentioned that he was able to live until 25 years, but he gained much acclaim and critical appreciation that happened immediately after his death. John Keats had a miserable childhood. He lost both his parents when he was a child. He lost his father at the age of 8 and he lost his mother at the age of 14. His father was doing horse riding and he fell off from the horse. That's how he met with death. And his mother was also affected with tuberculosis. John Keats he wanted to pursue his career by learning medicine, and he even learned medicine. He completed his education to become a doctor, but immediately after completing his education, he decided that this is not what he wanted to do. Rather, he wanted to start off a career in writing, and he started concentrating on writing aspect. He started writing plenty of poetries from then onwards. I've already mentioned that he was affected with tuberculosis at the age of 25. So he knew that he would be dying really quickly. With this realization, he made a request to his friend that immediately after his death, an epitaph has to be engraved upon his gravestone. And this epitaph is, "Here lies one whose name was writ in water." He is a British romantic poet who used to idealize nature, love, and of course, immortality. John Keats's fame rests in writing odes. Odes are a lyrical stanza. It is an elaborately structured poem praising and glorifying an event, individual, or even describing nature. The famous odes of John Keats is Ode to a Nightingale and Ode on a Grecian Urn. Negative capability. This is something that he coined for the first time as he was writing a letter to his brothers Tom and George in the year 1817. After reading Shakespeare, he was inspired by Shakespeare so much that he coined this term and mentioned about this term in that letter. Now, what exactly is negative capability? It is some things, those correct answers might not be available. There are things which is beyond our explanation where we get confused to give a proper clear-cut definition to something, and which is what is meant by negative capability. It is denying humanity's ability to fully understand any kind of phenomenon. Now, this negative capability has a relationship with the poem that we'll be dealing with in today's class. about which I'll be explaining on the second and third sessions. Now, these are a few famous quotes contributed by John Keats. One is "Beauty is truth, truth, beauty." It is taken from Ode on a Grecian Urn. And the other one is "A thing of beauty is a joy forever," which he wrote in Neon, a poetry that was published in the year 1818. Femme fatale. Femme fatale is an important term that we have to deal with in today's poetry. This poetry consists of two main characters. One is, of course, a medieval knight, and the other one is a lady, or rather, a femme fatale. Femme fatale is a mysterious, beautiful, and of course, a seductive woman who uses her charms to ensnare her lovers. A similar kind of a femme fatale is what we'll be seeing, we'll be witnessing as we go through the poem La Belle Dame sans Merci. Now, La Belle Dame sans Merci, the literal translation of this word means the woman without mercy. And this title, he got this title, John Keats acquired this title from a 15th century love poem written by Alan Cartier. And that's how he attained this title. La Belle Dame sans Merci is also a ballad. Now, ballads are songs with musical quality which is transferred from one person to another, and it is transferred, of course, from one generation to another generation. Ballads were popular during the Middle Ages, especially from 14th century onwards, and the poetry La Belle Dame sans Merci fulfills all the qualities required for a ballad, and we'll be witnessing about all those things in the next session. Thank you.